You will do an opening statement and then your questions.
Obviously, a very, very gutsy game by our players, and they did a really good job of being aggressive. Obviously, in the second half of that fourth quarter and through overtime, they really just gutted out a great win. Stony Brook, they were amazing today, and we knew they were a good team, and we didn't overlook them. We didn't come in here not prepared. We really prepared hard for this game, and they did what we thought they were going to do. We just had a hard time stopping them in the first 3.5 quarters, and the second quarter was totally my fault. I totally mismanaged that quarter. Probably should have took a timeout halfway through that run, but we had some looks at the basket, and I thought that we were missing layups, missing some chippies, but on the other end, defensively, we wasn't really matched up. So, that's on me. I mismanaged. Totally mismanaged that game, and that definitely in the second quarter. So that's on me. That's not on my kids. I take full responsibility for that because they pretty much bailed me out. I would have been sitting here giving you a different story if we'd have lost this game. And the way I coached the second quarter, it was very well possible. So all credit goes to my kids because they really fought hard and they bailed me out today. So that's what it is. And Tiana was fantastic again, 29-11. Miranda was fantastic, 23 points and 6. And Isis was tremendous off the bench. Isis hit 3 threes in a row to really, get us back in the game and take the lead. I thought that was huge. Isis played 30 minutes tonight, and she was 50% behind the arc. And for me, obviously Tiana had some big numbers, and Miranda had big numbers, but I thought Isis was the reason why we really won this game today. She got us back in the game, making some shots, and we were really ice cold, and she just really stepped up. And not surprised because she's a big time player. She's a big time player coming out of high school, highly touted on recruiting, and so I'm not surprised at her productivity. But this game goes totally to my kids because I totally mismanaged this game, and they bailed me out. So all praise to them.
When Stony Brook went up 5 under a minute to go, was there any doubt that you knew your team could come back and win this game?
Well, I knew we had a chance to get possessions out, so we could foul and get possessions. But a lot of things had to go right, and they all went right. They went 1 for 4 from the foul line, and again, my staff bailed me out. Vaughn and Tammy and Ani knew exactly who needed the foul. And we fouled the right person. She went 1 for 4 from the line to in that game, and they knew exactly who needed the foul right away. And we played loose on those players that we wanted to foul, and they got the ball, and we fouled them. So everybody did good today, but me. But thank God I got them.
When you say you mismanaged the second, is there any specifics or?
Well, just times that I probably could have called a timeout. Maybe could have ran some things differently, and hindsight's 20/20. Maybe the timeout stops the run. I guess that's my reckless confidence I said last game of my team, right? Thinking that everything's going to be okay. But at some point I gotta do my job and make sure that I get them into great situations. But that's why we recruit great players, so we can get these kinds of results when something doesn't go right. And they did a great job of winning the game for us today.
Down the stretch, Tiana, a lot of possessions, pretty much took the ball and made plays. What else is even there to say about her at this point? She just keeps making plays.
Nothing. I think we've said it all. That's it. She's a fantastic player, big time player who makes plays, and when you have a play like that, you got a chance. We just graduated one of those. So she's picking up right where PD left off at, and Miranda's picking up right where Britt left off at. So we're getting the same results. We have 2 dominant players that are able to make plays.
You mentioned the defense. In the final 8 minutes of the game, they scored a field goal. What did you guys kind of change up or do to kind of crunch down on them late?
Well, we got matched up, most of the time, but they got a couple open looks, and I think that some fatigue played a part in making some shots probably down the stretch for them and for both teams. And just lucky enough that we had enough cushion that when they missed shots and we rebounded the ball, that we did a really good job of going down there and making shots at the end of the game, and we made our free throws. Our kids dug in. We got matched up, and and we wasn't stopping Johnson the entire game, and we ended up doing a good job on her towards the end of that game.
Yeah, it seemed like they were really kind of running a screen on the back door to get that open three in the corner in the first and second half, and it was working a bit. What kind of allowed them to kind of exploit that, and what did you guys try to do to stop it?
Well, it was funny because we talked about that play for 2.5 days now, and they kept getting it. We got to just do a better job of calling screens and making sure that we were getting proper rotations. I know one time she came off the baseline screen, and someone pushed the ice into the screen. Next time he came off the screen, Tiana got caught on the screen, so they hit 2 threes in a row in the corner. So we got to do a good job. And actually, it's a play that we run, the slice. We run the play, so we know the play. So it was odd. It was confusing.
It seemed a couple times you were yelling like man up, and you guys were switching up to man, putting pressure on them. Was that something that was specific to this game, or is that something we can kind of see more throughout the season?
No, anytime that we need to take threes away, or to be able to guard the ball with certain personnel, we're gonna play man. I think a lot of teams think that we just play zone and say, hey, sit back in the zone. I said it's great. We're doing a great job with the scouts and our defense, because we'll do what we have to do to win basketball games, and our kids really dug in and got some stops, and that was big.
Lastly, it seemed like getting foul trouble was a big issue today. Digna fouled out there at the end. It's something we've been talking about a lot this season. What do you kind of have to do to limit that and try to get them on the floor more?
Well, we gotta do a couple things. We have to protect Digna and Amaya by guarding the ball and not letting guards get into their chest straight down the lane. And secondly, they can't give the fouls, which we call guard fouls, which are the slapping fouls and the jumping through somebody's back. You got to save those, for when you really need to strap up and play some tough defense. And when you think about it, we're talking a lot about Digna and Amaya, and they're both freshmen. So at the end of the day, this is their first college games, but they've played 8 college games, and they have a lot of responsibility on them. And they're tough kids. I mean, a lot of kids right now would just fold and say, hey, we're gonna just try to get through this year and figure it out. But they're grinding and they're playing hard, so they deserve a lot of credit just for being tough and for fighting through any kind of adversity in these games.
Given who you lost, off last year's team, a lot of people thought this would be a rebuilding season, and the fact that there's 8-0 at this point, how does that make you feel about this team still being undefeated?
Well, I think the good thing about it is that we never thought it was a rebuilding season. So if we would have bought into that line, we wouldn't be 8-0 right now. Our players have a lot of confidence in their abilities, and I have a ton of confidence in them because I recruited them. That's why they're here, because I thought they were fantastic players. So, it does feel good. We have 4 BCS wins, and obviously this was a really, really tough game. Stony Brook was undefeated, and they had a little hiccup down at Cornell. But they're a very good basketball team. They're a seasoned team, and we never went into the season thinking that we're going to have an every building year. We went into the season thinking that we're going to be undefeated and win a national championship. That was our goal. So we're 8 games into that, so we're doing a pretty good job right now.
Q, Gabby pulled down 10 rebounds tonight. You mentioned with Tiana and Miranda doing the workload and the scoring. How's that enable you to move Gabby around the court and have her in more versatile roles?
Well, it's important, and I think that, last season she did a really good job of getting 2 offensive rebounds late in that game. They kind of got us possessions back and sealed the game for us. So she toughed it out and played a really, really good into the fourth quarter and overtime. She saved us a few possessions. So anytime you got to play them, it's willing to go to the glass and get rebounds and do the things that we do well. And to be even successful, we got a chance. And I thought second half we just really rebounded the ball well. And she was a big key there. She kept some balls alive, and she got 2 big rebounds in late in the fourth and in overtime.
Thanks so much.
All right, guys, thank you.